Hit the like button, comment and subscribe, and share this video. Hello, sports fans. Welcome to No Offseason Media. I'm your host, Amari Sports. In today's video, we'll go over the Week 12 picks. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. We have 3 games on Thanksgiving. Obviously, the rest on Sunday and then 1 on the Monday. But anyways, let's start with these Thanksgiving games. We had the Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. The Buffalo Bills are a 3.5-point favorite against Detroit. And I'm going with the Lions to cover, but I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to win this game outright. Number one is that there's a report that just came out that the Buffalo Bills, after that game in Detroit against the Cleveland Browns, went back to Buffalo and is now coming back to play this game against the Detroit Lions. Here's my thing. There's a 4-day span between those games, between Cleveland and the Lions. I don't understand why they went back to Buffalo. I don't understand if they went for practice reasons or whatever. I'm just going to take the Lions to keep this game close. That's one of my reasons why I'm taking the Lions. My second reason is that the Lions are kind of showing some fight later on in the season. They beat the Chicago Bears, they beat the Packers, and then they beat the Giants. But I think they're going to keep this game close against Buffalo. Buffalo's not really covering the spread as of recently. I got a push last week because the Buffalo Bills only won the game by 8 and allowed Cleveland to get a late door push. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to win this game, but I think the Detroit Lions will cover. Give me the Bills to win 33-27 over the Lions. We have an NFC East matchup between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are a 9.5-point favorite against New York, and I'm going with Dallas to win this game and to cover. Number one reason is that the Giants are now turning back into the Giants we all know and love. And also with the Dallas Cowboys, they have won 10 of the last 11 meetings against the New York Giants. And as you can say, Daniel Jones is better on the road. Yes, he is better on the road, but not against Dallas, okay? And the thing is about the Dallas Cowboys, they are getting very good defensive pressures by their defense against quarterbacks. And also with this one is that Trevon Diggs is turning into his own. Yes, I said the Cowboys defensive secondary was bad. Yes, but that was in recent times because they haven't really been getting that much turnovers in the secondary. Obviously, Micah Parsons and the front seven is what's mainly getting those turnovers. But in this matchup, I'm going to be going with the Dallas Cowboys to win this ball game and to cover. I don't trust Daniel Jones. They have no wide receivers. Their main wide receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, is out for the year with a torn ACL. So just give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this game and to cover. The Cowboys win 30-20 over the Giants. Thanksgiving night, we have the New England Patriots at the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are a 2.5-point favorite against New England, and I'm taking the Patriots to upset and to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Number one reason, you do not bet Kirk Cousins on a standalone game or a primetime game. We saw it against Philadelphia and we saw it against the Dallas Cowboys, which is 2 of their losses. But here's my thing. The Patriots defense is for real, okay? They held the Jets to 3 points and made Zach Wilson look like a non-existent quarterback. Yes, I understand that. But here's my thing. If the Minnesota Vikings couldn't even handle the Dallas Cowboys last week, what makes you think they're going to handle New England? Okay, Micah Parsons, yes, they couldn't stop him. But Matthew Judon is coming one of his own, okay? And and the Minnesota Vikings just lost one of their tackles in Christian Darrisaw, who has been playing well in his second year, okay? So it's a short week for both teams. Minnesota, after getting thrashed 40-3 against the Dallas Cowboys, now they got to play a Patriot team, and Bill Belichick, call it as it is, he pretty much manipulates first-year head coaches. So there's a reason why Kirk Cousins is 0-2 in his career against the New England Patriots. Give me New England to win and upset the Minnesota Vikings. Pats win 20-17. We're on to the Sunday's games. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Cleveland Browns. The Buccaneers are 3.5-point favorites against Cleveland, and I'm taking the Buccaneers to win this game and to cover. First of all, they're coming off a bye. We saw Tom Brady in the last 2 years when he was in Tampa Bay. When they come off bye, they come off gelling. And I think with the Cleveland Brown team that's pretty much given up, keep in mind, they're already out of the AFC playoff race, okay? They're already at the bottom tier. They're just waiting for Deshaun Watson to come back. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is what's going to contain Nick Chubb and not make him run, which will rely Jacoby Brissett to start passing the ball more. And that is not what any team wants to see when you have a backup quarterback. Tom Brady's Buccaneers will get past Cleveland and will win by more than 3.5. I'm going to take Tom Brady and his Buccaneers with a better run game to beat the Cleveland Browns by more than the point spread. Buccaneers win 27-23. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Tennessee Titans. This is a rematch of the AFC divisional round from last season. And in this one, Cincinnati is a 2.5-point favorite in Nashville. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans to win this ball game and to cover. I think they will upset the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals being a favorite in this matchup makes no sense. Now, this line could be inflated because of Jamar Chase's news that he has no more crutches and he could potentially play in this ball game. Okay, so what? So be it. The Tennessee Titans defense has been stepping up despite not even having their key starters back. Okay, they went up to Green Bay and beat the Packers. They beat the Denver Broncos, and they put Kansas City into playing 5 quarters to beat them, okay, with a rookie quarterback in Malik Willis. That should say a lot. They held Kansas City to 20 points, okay? They're going against Cincinnati Bengals team that put up 37 points on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense with a rookie quarterback helming the offense. Okay, I'm taking the Titans. The Titans are a better team as an underdog. They were underdog to the Packers. They won outright. They were underdog to the Chiefs. Held them to close, okay? So I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans to win this ball game in the cover. Last year, they sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. We're not going to talk about that, right? Because of the new Cincinnati Bengals team. No, this Bengals team is the same Bengals team from last year. I'm not buying into them. I think they're on a Super Bowl hangover. I'm not buying it. Tennessee wins 24-20 over Cincinnati. We have the Houston Texans at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 13.5-point favorite against the Texans. This is the two teams that had that Laramie Tunsil deal. Obviously, two teams are going in two obviously different directions. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins to win this game and to cover this 13.5-point spread. Number one is that the Texans are obviously tanking for a quarterback for next year. Davis Mills, it's not it. And I don't know how this defensive secondary for the Houston Texans is going to be guarding Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback, and also Jalen Waddle, and also Tyreek Hill. I don't know how it's going to happen. The Dolphins' offensive line has obviously gotten pretty much better. Their defense for the Dolphins is what I worry about. I think they'll cover this 13.5-point number here. So give me the Dolphins to win. I have the score, Dolphins winning 30-16. Next, we have the Chicago Bears at the New York Jets. The Jets are a 4.5-point favorite against Chicago. And this one, I'm taking the Jets to win this game and to cover. Number one reason is that I don't know what's going on with Justin Fields. His injury on his non-throwing shoulder looks like it's going to be day to day. But here's my thing. I think the Jets defense is very, very consistent. And I don't trust the Bears defense whatsoever. I think with Zach Wilson, it is about that time to start benching him. I think if you put Mike White in the fold or Joe Flacco, we have seen what Joe Flacco has done with his time when Zach Wilson was injured. He was able to win 1 out of the 3 games that he started. But I think the Jets will win this game and to cover. This could be, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm getting from the quarterback position. If Justin Fields doesn't start, it's going to be Trevor Siemian, and I really don't even trust Trevor Siemian going against this defensive front for the New York Jets. So give me the Jets to win and keep it a low-scoring game as they did against the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Give me the Jets winning 20-10 over the Bears. Next, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are a 4-point favorite against Atlanta, and I'm going with the Commanders to win this ball game and to cover. Chase Young, the kid that they drafted from Ohio State 2 years ago, is making his return from his torn ACL a year prior, and I think in this one, the defense is what's going to carry Washington potentially to a playoff berth that they haven't had since 2020. And this one with the Atlanta Falcons, they haven't been really covering the spread as of recent late. I luckily took the Bears last week plus 3.5, even though the Falcons won by 3, but they didn't cover. Okay, so they haven't been covering for about a while. It's time to jump ship on Atlanta. Atlanta's not a good team. They're not going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at all this year. They're not even going to even sniff an NFC playoff berth. So I like the Commanders to keep the ball rolling with Taylor Heineke as their quarterback, because that's what he is. He's a better scheme fit for them. Give me the Commanders to win 27-17. Next, we have a snooze fest between the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are a 2.5-point dog at home against the Broncos. And I'm going with the Panthers to win this game and to upset the Denver Broncos. Number one reason is because Baker Mayfield got yanked, okay? Who's going to be in for quarterback is going to be Sam Darnold coming off an injury, okay? And I understand the Denver Broncos defense is legit. I understand that. But they only could do so much to carry this anemic offense run by Russell Wilson and Nate Hackett, okay? And I'm just going with the Panthers because the Panthers are the better side. I got to pick an upset somewhere, and this is going to be the upset here. Nobody's going to watch it outside the Denver and Charlotte metro area. So I'm going with the Panthers to win this game and potentially do the best they can to make things right for their whole entire city. So give me the Carolina Panthers to defeat the Denver Broncos 16-10 in a snooze fest. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Ravens are a 4-point favorite on the road against Jacksonville, and I'm going with the Jaguars to keep this game close, but the Ravens win it outright. Number one, Ravens didn't even cover that 13-point spread last week against the Carolina Panthers in a pick that I picked. I picked the Panthers to keep that game close and 13 points. But the thing is about the Baltimore Ravens is that they don't cover spreads. They don't. If they're a favorite by like 1 or 2 points, they'll cover that. But if it's more than a field goal, you got to go in the opposite direction, okay? And the thing is about the Jaguars are coming off a bye. They're a young team, ready to start putting their feet on the field, ready to get the whole ball game. These boys in Jacksonville are very, very hungry. They ready to get back on the football field. Trevor Lawrence is looking to play against a pass defense is not really well, and I think that the Jaguars will be able to keep it close. I think the Ravens will be able to win by a Justin Tucker late field goal, or even that the Jacksonville Jaguars will get a backdoor cover. But I'm going with the Ravens to win this ball game, but failing to cover, you can't trust the Ravens in this spot. Lamar, we'll see how he does in this Florida Heat. So give me Baltimore to win 26-23 over Jacksonville. Next, we have the Los Angeles Chargers at the Arizona Cardinals. The Chargers are a 4.5-point favorite in Arizona, and I'm going with the Chargers to win this game and to cover. Justin Herbert is looking like a great quarterback again, because he finally has wide receivers to throw to. Keenan Allen is back from his hamstring injury. But here's the problem. Mike Williams is out potentially for his ankle injury that he sustained against that loss against the Chiefs. But they also have Joshua Palmer, so I think they're going to be fine. But the Cardinals defense is completely bad. We saw them get blasted by the 49ers by 38 points defensively that they allowed. I'm going with the Chargers to win this game and to cover. And also, a key note, Sean McVay disciples, they play well against the Cardinals, but they do not play well against the 49ers like Kyle Shanahan and other ones. So that's another reason why I'm going to take the Chargers. Brandon Staley is a Sean McVay disciple. So give me the Chargers to win 27-20 over the Arizona Cardinals. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are a 3.5-point favorite against the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm taking the Seahawks to win this game and to cover. The public is going to be all over Vegas because they beat the Denver Broncos, and the Devontae Adams and Derek Carr connection is back, and they're going to do whatever they can against the Seattle Seahawks. Weren't we just over the Seattle Seahawks, like thinking they're going to win this NFC West division, like 2 weeks ago? Oh, because we forgot because they were on a bye week and they got blasted by the Buccaneers. Okay, so 2 weeks they haven't seen the Seattle Seahawks play well. All of a sudden, we're just going to go bet the Raiders. No, take the Seahawks to win this game in the cover. Seattle has a better roster than the Raiders, and that I don't know how the Raiders are going to stop Kenneth Walker III in that rushing attack. And Geno Smith, he's going to do the best he can not to turn over the ball, and the Raiders, they don't generate any turnovers defensively, especially not that much. So give me the Seattle Seahawks to win this ball game and to cover this 3.5-point spread. They win 30-24 over the Raiders. Next, we have the Los Angeles Rams at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Rams are a 14.5-point dog on the road against the Chiefs, and I'm taking the Rams to cover this game, but I'm taking Kansas City to win this game outright. First of all, Kansas City is not covering any big number, okay? The last big number they covered was like a 9.5 point spread against Jacksonville, and they only covered that number because Jacksonville missed 2 field goals. But when they were a 12.5 point favorite against Malik Willis and the Tennessee Titans, they did not cover. When they were like a favorite against the Chargers last week, I think 5.5, they did not cover. So I'm going with the Rams and the 14.5 points. I don't care if Stafford's out. It's going to probably be Bryce Perkins. It's a lost year for the Rams. I just like the Chiefs in this matchup to win, obviously like any other person would, but I'm not giving Kansas City 14.5 points against a Rams team that could show some life later in this ballgame because the defense for the Chiefs is just so bad. So give me the Chiefs to win this ball game, but fail to cover this spread. Chiefs win 27-13 over the Rams. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are a 9.5 point favorite against New Orleans, and I'm going with the Saints to keep this game close, but I'm going with the 49ers to win this ball game at the end. Here's my thing, is that the 49ers could be up by so many points in this ball game, and the Saints can just magically, with Andy Dalton, get a backdoor cover. That's what I'm fearful of, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen in this ball game. I think, let's say the Niners are up by 10 points, right? And the Saints want to get back into the ball game, but they got to kick that late field goal just to keep it close. Now they're down by a touchdown, and then you lost as a better. I'm worried about that with the Saints game and the 49ers. The 49ers look great in Mexico City, don't get me wrong, but they have a less day to prepare than the Saints do. So I'm going with the 49ers to win this game, but I think the Saints will cover this game outright. Give me the 49ers to win 28-19 over the Saints. They win the game, but fail to cover the spread. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are a touchdown and extra point favorite against the Green Bay Packers. I'm going with the Packers to upset and to win against the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? The Eagles are getting exposed, okay? The Eagles can't stop the run. We saw it against the Washington Commanders, and we've seen it against the Indianapolis Colts, despite the Eagles winning that ball game against the Colts. But here's my thing. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Matt Ryan, than they played, and Taylor Heineke. And the rushing attack for Green Bay is far more greater than the Colts and Washington combined. So if the Packers know that the Eagles can't stop the run, so they're going to use Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and pound it right up the middle. And the thing is that the Packers season is on the line. Christian Watson is coming one of his own, okay? And Allen Lazard is doing the best he can as potentially a number one. He's really a number two, but they have him as a number one. I just think the Packers, with their season on the line, will probably do well against Philadelphia. And I don't trust Jalen Hurts still. I don't. I really don't. I think they got exposed for the last couple of weeks. Washington exposed them. The Colts try to follow that formula, and the Packers are not going to follow that formula to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. And the thing is, I don't bet against Aaron Rodgers at all, okay? Especially in a game that he has to win. I'm going with the Packers to win this game and to upset the Philadelphia Eagles. Packers win 24-21 over the Eagles. Monday Night Football, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a 2.5 point favorite against the Steelers, and I'm going with the Colts to win this game and to cover. Jeff Saturday is making his debut at home with Indianapolis, a second home game, but now it's going to be against ESPN, his other counterparts and other colleagues. And I think he's going to perform well in that matchup against Pittsburgh. He's going to become from Jeff Saturday to Jeff Sunday and Monday. And I think that with Mike Tomlin knowing that it's a lost season with rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett, they're going to try to run the ball really, really heavily with Najee Harris and the backup running back in Warren. So I really like the Colts here. The Colts defense is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be a heavily defensive game. Probably going to be having a lot of field goals, as I would think here. Paris Campbell, the guy they drafted in the second round in 2017, 16 or somewhere around that time, he's coming up into his own. I like this matchup for the Colts. I think the Colts will win this ball game and a cover. I can't remember the last time the Colts ever beat the Steelers at home in Indianapolis, but I think is due. So give me the Indianapolis Colts to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-19. And that is it for my Week 12 spread picks. Before I go, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share the video. Anyways, this is No Offseason Media, and I'm your host, Amari Sports, signing off for Week 12. I will see you next week. Peace.